first glance, when you look at this thing looks more like a motorcycle than an e-bike. Now that could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. I love the way the bike feels. I mean, it is light compared to all my other bikes. This is going to be a problem here. Oh, this freaking chalk. Dude, that is freaking dangerous. It is a smooth ride. I mean, this is a really comfortable, smooth ride. You cannot beat how comfortable this ride is. What's going on, WOW family? Today we're going to be looking at the most unique e-bike I have reviewed on this channel to date. We are reviewing AOTOS Flux X26 Pro. And as I just said, it is definitely the most unique e-bike I have reviewed on this channel to date. At first glance, when you look at this thing looks more like a motorcycle than an e-bike. Now that could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. I personally love it. And it is a perfectly legal e-bike. Now let's go through, and like as always, we're gonna go start in the front. Let's go through some of the specs on this bike. Now, this bike rides on 20 by 4-inch fat tires. And these are CST Scout e-moped style tires. Now, if you follow this channel, you know that I'm big on freaking tires, right? And most e-bikes or most e-bike companies put on the cheapest tires on the market. Not so with AOTOS. These, I love the tread. I mean, look at this. I mean, these are nice. Now they're not super thick like my Ultraverse tires that I normally put on e-bikes, but these will do the trick. These are very good. Now, when you look at the brakes, look at this rotor, and look at these motorcycle-inspired brakes. Right? They're not branded, or at least I didn't find what the brand is on this, but they're nice, nice brakes. Right? Then you look at this fender. This front fender, plastic, which I love, and it's a tip. It looks like a motorcycle fender, right? It's integrated, really nice with the crown fork. I mean, I really love it. I really like it, and I love the fact that it's plastic. Now, it looks like it's carbon fiber. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they did that on purpose to give that carbon fiber look to the bike. But it's definitely plastic. Now, the issue is going to be whether or not it's a durable plastic. I don't know, but it does, you know, everything on here is plastic with the exception of the frame, right? You're looking at a 6061 aluminum frame. You have front suspension in the front and rear suspension. It's a very comfortable bike, right? As you come back towards the center, you have probably the most unique battery I've seen to date. It is this is the Pro, so it's a 48 volt, 20 amp hour battery, which the battery and the power or the top end speed of the bike is, for me, the most disappointing part about the bike. 21 amp hours is not a lot. You'll see when we take this out, we'll see what kind of range we get. But 21 amp hours, for me, definitely not enough, especially with it being a 48 volt. Here's what's cool about this battery. If it connects here, but you have also USB ports there, and this is where you actually charge it. And to take it out, it comes with a key. You just pop it out. The other thing that's a little bit of a pain in the butt for me that I don't like about it is that to put this on, It's not that easy when the battery is installed. It is a pain in the ass to put that on when the battery is started. I normally take the battery out and put it and connect it, and then put the battery in, because again, it's not super easy to do it when it's installed. And then this USB port back here, it's really not. It could only be used. Let me close this up. Used realistically when you take the battery off the charger. And you can see this. It's even to put this plastic back on that I took off. It's a pain in the ass when it's in there. The other thing you guys need to keep in mind is that this bike, if you're going to store it, I would take that off, because it will drain this battery even if you don't use it, because I believe because of the technology that's on it, it's constantly running. It definitely drains it. You know, I charged it to 100%, left it overnight, and then the next day when I came out to use it, it was down to like 87% of battery. So it definitely drains even if you're not using it. That battery or the bike is taking up some juice. Here you got some storage space, what I like. One of the things that I'm thinking about is adding some more. Obviously, if I keep this bike, I want to add some more battery to it. So I could have Kevin over at Northeast Battery System built me a battery that fits here, and then I can have a dual battery system, or I can take this off and have Kevin build me a battery that fits in here, right? Won't be removable, or it won't be easily removed, but fits in here, and I can have a much bigger battery. Again, if I keep this bike, I'm definitely doing that. Here's some storage. I like this little storage thing. There's the keys. The bike comes with 2 keys, just like most other bikes. Then you have here a usable USB port. Now, I didn't test this yet to see if it actually charges a phone as you're riding. I didn't do that. I haven't done that, and I won't do that on this review, but I will test that out when I take this out on a steady state range test. You know, initial ride, we're gonna go out and run it through my typical standard test, right? We're gonna go through the pedal assist. We're gonna go check out the performance, acceleration, how well it climbs, all that stuff. And we'll see how much battery we use on this one, but it won't be a steady state range test. We'll do that after. If you go underneath, it comes with a lock, and I just noticed that my lock's not there. I hope I didn't lose it, because this is loose. I probably lost that lock, because that's not good. So anyway, it comes with a lock that goes in there, and I think I lost it because this was open, and I don't recall taking that lock out. That is going to suck, because that was a good lock. Anyway, again, in the back, we have a nice plastic fender. I mean, this is solid. I mean, it's really good. Again, we have the same rotor in the back with the same calipers. Really love this red caliper. The stopping power so far, I believe, is good. We'll see on the braking test. There's your 750 watt motor. Now, they say it peaks at 2,000 watts. They say it on their website that this bike has 100 Newton meters of torque. Again, well, I personally don't have a way to actually test that. I can just give you my opinion when I compare this to other bikes. The seat, it is phenomenal, guys. This is a great, comfortable seat. Again, I have not ridden this super far. I don't know, for a 3-4 hour ride, how comfortable that is, but the sitting position is phenomenal. If we come back here, we have an integrated tail light. There are no turn signals on the bike. We'll go over the cockpit operations in a bit. We have a reflector back here. All right. Then we if we go on this side, the bike comes with passenger pegs. So I like that. I did test this with a passenger. This bike has power. So it'll get you to 27 miles an hour with a passenger or no passenger, headwind or no headwind, which leads me to believe that there's a lot of untapped power in this, that if there's a way to modify, you can definitely get more speed. Unfortunately, right now, I don't know. I tried everything to get more speed, and I haven't been able to do it, but it's possible that you can do it. It's single gear or fixed seal, I like to call these. You don't have any gears, which I prefer, to be honest. I like the chain ring. See how it's integrated with the frame? Man, that's a very nice touch. I really, really like that about the bike. Actually, the whole design, it's just beautiful. Again, I forgot in the front to mention the headlight. That's the headlight. The only thing I don't like about the headlight is that it's not adjustable. I have not ridden this at night, so I don't know how well it's going to illuminate. But we will see that when I do the steady state range test, because I normally go out before the sun rises. So we'll see how that headlight does. But I've heard through other reviewers that that's not ideal because you can't adjust it. It's not in the right spot. I do like the cable management of the bike. It's sweet, that cable management. I talked about the brakes already. On the calipers, you don't see they're branded, but here it's branded with the AOTOS brand. It holds mineral oil, and you have these rubber grips and full rubber grips here, half twist throttle here. It comes with your lights, your walk mode, and your horn. Let's turn this on again. I love that display. I added a passcode code to turn it on. You can connect this to your phone, to the app. Unfortunately, I can't do that. I haven't been able to do it because when I bind the bike, so you have to bind it. When you get the bike and you unbox it, it'll have a QR code there so you can download the app and then bind the bike with your phone. I did that, but then it immediately asked me for a firmware update. I did the update. When I did that, it kicked me out, and I can't turn on the Bluetooth to reconnect it. I've emailed support. They asked me to disconnect the battery and then connect it again, and it should take me back to the QR code, and it didn't. And I've been waiting for them to respond. So hopefully by the time I do the steady state range test on it, I'll have this bind and I can show you how to use the app. But nonetheless, I mean, this is beautiful, man. I love the display on this bike. Really nice. If we come over here, you have the boost button. Again, I unlocked my bike, so this boost button doesn't do anything except make noise, right? And then you have your plus and minus. When the kickstand is on, like it is there, you really can't do anything with the bike. So I'm going to take the kickstand out, and it's going to take you to whatever setting you had it on. So it has echo, it has normal, it has sport. So those are your three pedal assist or modes. Again, here's the boost. It'll go for 10 seconds, but as I just mentioned, for me, it doesn't work because I unlocked the bike, so it doesn't do anything. There's the horn. The horn is loud. And then your light, and again, your walk mode on here. Again, as I mentioned earlier, it has a half twist throttle. I kind of wish it was a full twist throttle for this bike. Instead of this half twist, the full twist like you see on the AOTOS and some other bikes would have been much better. But the fit, right, the suspension on the bike and your riding position, really, really nice. Now, I added this mirror. I only added one because, again, I'm not sure I'm going to keep the bike. Most likely I won't because it's just, I don't keep class 3 e-bikes, and this is basically what it is. the top speed, and I'm light. My top speed on this is 27.8, almost 28 miles an hour. With a little bit of a tailwind, you'll get the 28 miles an hour, but it'll stay at 27 miles an hour. For right now, my beautiful people, let's go ride. All right, well, family, let me turn this on. Go take this on his voyage ride. All right, well, family, we have 99% battery on this thing. We're gonna take this out and run it through the paces. Tell you right off the bat though, I love the way the bike feels. I mean, it is light compared to all my other bikes. There's a couple things that I'm gonna talk about the bike that I don't like though. I'm gonna talk about that first. So far, I noticed one of the things I don't like about the bike is how the battery, if you turn the bike off and keep everything connected, this bike will drain that battery. I'm assuming it's because of the GPS and all the security features that it has. It's running in the background, but it will drain your battery. Just keep that in mind, that if you don't disconnect the battery when you're storing the bike, it will definitely drain the battery. I've been trying to get this review done for, shoot, seems like more than a week, but I have not been able to do it because of rain and the weather. A couple of times is because I ran out of time doing some other stuff. So I have not been able to get out here and do this review. And every time I turn the bike on, I have to charge the battery because it drops down. Today, before I went out, it dropped down to 67%. And obviously I want a fresh battery to do the testing with. This is going to be a problem here. Oh, this freaking chalk. Dude, that is freaking dangerous. Anyway, this is going to be a major problem here because I can't tighten it enough so it doesn't fall. What are you doing? Ah, these people. I don't know what you guys are freaking doing. Nah, but this bike, so that's one negative, right? You got to make sure that you disconnect the battery when you store it, otherwise you're going to come back to a dead battery. Number two thing I don't like about the bike is the size of the battery. So I have, this is, as we discussed, this is the Pro, X26 Pro. So it has the bigger battery, but it's only 21 amp hours. We'll see what kind of range we get with 21 amp hours, but I can tell you it is not enough for me. It's not going to be enough. We'll see how much range we get going out to Vista View Park and back. I don't like that. And then the third and probably the final thing so far that I don't like about the bike. Hold on, let me see if I can get across this traffic. Yeah, here we go. Is the top end speed. If this bike had more, if it was faster than 28 miles an hour, man, this would be a phenomenal bike. But that for me is the biggest negative. It's a class 3 bike. So, having said that, for those that don't need speed, man, I think this is the perfect bike for you, man. It is probably the most nimble bike I have in the shop. Even when you compare this bike with my smaller bikes, right? The T16, the Big Trip R6 Pro, the DT F6. Those are all small bikes, about the same size as this. I'm 5'7", I'm flat footing this bike, and the weight of the bike is super light, super nimble. So I love that about this bike. Now, we're gonna go through the pedal assist. Once this light turns red or turns green, we'll go through the pedal assist. And right now we're gonna be, so this bike, it's on eco mode now. We'll see how that runs. It has an automatic shifter. So it'll shift depending on how fast you're going. right, eco mode, pedal assist. So eco mode is technically PSA 1. So I'm pedaling. Now, let's talk about the pedal stroke, right? I'm 5'7", and I can pedal this easy. It's comfortable. And if you need some more, or extend your legs some more, just sit further back on the seat. But this motor is super, super quiet. Anyway, pedal assist 1, and I don't know if it's tied to anything because it took me all the way up to 25 miles an hour. That is crazy. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Shoot, I didn't turn on Strava. So let me stop here because I gotta turn on Strava. I did check already with GPS to see if speedometer is tied to the GPS, and it is. So there's no difference. We just have to monitor this. I think it's like 2 miles from my house. We have to add that, and hopefully I'll remember to add it. All right, Strava's on. And you know what? I'm gonna put this. This has a nice little pocket here. Fits my phone perfect. We're gonna put it there. All right, let's take off again. All right, again, pedal assist 1, which is eco. When we pedal, I can actually get this thing up to like 25 miles an hour. Let's confirm that. Now keep in mind, this is only going to 28 miles an hour. So in eco, all right, eco, we're at 23 miles an hour. Let's bump this up to normal. Normal, we're at 25 miles an hour, 26. I saw 27, so it's flashing 27, but consistent 26. Let's see if we do just throttle, because I didn't do that on echo, but see, on throttle only, we're up to 27.9. 27, let's just say 27 miles an hour with throttle. Let's bring this up to sport. And pedaling on sport, 27.9 on sport, 27.9. Let's see, throttle only, same thing, 27. And that's gonna be our cap, guys. That's our cap. That's as fast as it goes. There's really not much difference between staying in normal and in sport. They both get you to the same speed. This is what I'm saying, man. There has to be a way, because it feels like the bike can give you more. There has to be a way to like truly unlock it. Because as I mentioned, when you get this bike out of the box, it's going to be locked at 20 miles an hour. And then you unlock it, it's only going to give you up to 28 miles an hour. But I gotta tell you, the look of the bike is amazing, as I mentioned early on. I really love the look. It is a smooth ride. I mean, this is a really comfortable, smooth ride. You cannot beat how comfortable this ride is. It's gotta be up there with my most comfortable bikes to ride. I love the position, I love the seats. Now, I've not ridden this for hours on end, so I don't know how comfortable it's gonna be riding for that long. But I can tell you, based on my posture won't be fatigued at all, right? You know, to give you some comparisons, when I ride my Juliet Pro, that bike, because I'm leaning forward a little bit, you know, after a few hours, you feel it. You feel it in your upper body. I'm gonna pedal this thing because I just like to pedal it. Even though it's not, I can just throttle the bike. I just prefer to pedal. And again, it gives you the same top speed. So, but as I was saying, the position of the bike is freaking phenomenal for comfort. Man. So let's talk about the acceleration of the bike. In fact, we'll stop right here. We're gonna stop right here and see how quick I can, or how fast I go to that intersection there, that turn, or that driveway. All right, throttle only, we're at 20. Man, that was quick. It gets up to 20 quick. I'm at max speed by the time I got to that turn around. So it has some pretty decent torque. We'll see how strong it is when we get up to Vista View Park and we climb those little hills there. Those hills are super, super steep. They're not super high, but they're steep. So we'll see how that performs there. But 0 to 20, the pickup is good. And we have the boost mode. Now, when the bike is unlocked, this boost mode, it's irrelevant. Like, I'm gonna hit it and I'm not getting any more extra power. So we're gonna test this out from a stop, although I don't think it makes a difference when you're unlocked. We'll test it out on Flamingo when I gotta cross that street. We'll see if I feel any difference with that boost mode. But when it's unlocked, you don't really feel any difference. When it's locked and you hit that boost mode, you do feel it, right? We do feel it. But going back to the ride quality of the bike, this bike, I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be one of the best smooth riding bikes you can buy. It is phenomenal. Great suspension on it. I mean, I love it. I love how it rides. And this bike would be my go-to bike if it was just faster. It's just not fast enough for me to use it on a regular basis. I would need it at a minimum to hit 35 miles an hour, because that's what most of these streets, the speed limit on these streets are. But that's at a minimum, and I prefer for it to hit 40. I don't care if it goes faster than 40, but 40 would be perfect with the torque that it has, right? Because it does, for me, there's some bikes that'll go 35, 40, but it just takes you forever to get up there. That also is not good. Man, it is definitely summer, man. It is super warm out here, super warm. Let's talk about the display. I think it's one of the better displays I've seen on any bike. It is midday and it is bright as heck, and I can see this display really, really well. I'm gonna switch this to sport because I noticed I was yeah, man, it's nice. Yeah, see, I hit that turbo and it gets you up to the same speed, so it doesn't matter. All right, I'm gonna keep the bike in sport mode just to see the kind of range we get in sport. The other thing, I don't know, so far, we'll see when we go off-road, but I'm not hearing any noise coming from the bike. So, although this, we're on the road, it's not super smooth though, but I'm not hearing any noise coming from the bike, so that's good. It's quiet. I mean, you can tell, I talked about this before. There's some fast bikes out there, budget fast bikes, but you get budget components, and the bike feels like it's a budget bike. This bike does not feel like it's a budget bike. Now, at today's prices, right, I believe this one is at $2,200 or $2,300. That's not cheap. Definitely not cheap when a few $100s more, you can get a Magician Alpha bike, right? Now, when you include the shipping and taxes on the Magician and the Wired, is more like $3,000. But I don't know if they'll charge you shipping with this. I know the set price is $2,200, which if you look at the Magician Alpha, you look at the, I believe it's $2,300. So it's not cheap to get this bike, but you're getting a bike that feels quality. I mean, it feels like it's a quality build bike, and you're getting a lot of technology with it, which I'm a big fan of, right? The GPS tracking, the app to it is phenomenal. Ooh, I gotta break in these brakes. Yeah, see, I hit that turbo, it did nothing. Nothing to increase my speed to come across. All right, we are at Vista View Park. We're gonna take this up to the top, and then we're gonna do some off-road riding. One thing I failed to mention already is how responsive the throttle and the cadence sensor is. It is very responsive. I really, really like how responsive that is. Okay, so this is the bottom. We're gonna start to climb. I'm just gonna use throttle. We're gonna stay in sport mode the entire time. I don't anticipate there being a problem going uphill, but we'll see when we go up there. Yeah, it's climbing, and I'm not losing any speed. So that's gonna max out in terms of speed up here. Yeah, I maxed out. So that's pretty cool. And let's see how it does when I get to the side of it. I tell you, it rides really smooth. I like how it rides. All these firefighters in this heat, that's crazy. That's good training, I like it. That is very good training. All right, now we'll see if anything rattles here too. So far, not bad. Not bad at all. All right, this is my mountain. My version of my mountain anyways. Okay, we're gonna stay there. Let's go down, baby. The brakes are good. Stupid camera isn't good. Okay. We're gonna go straight up there, and then hopefully this thing will stay. Damn it! I don't know how you guys keep these Insta cameras on these poles. I have a hard time keeping them. Let me break out my drone, and then we're gonna go up here. All right, we're on sport, throttle only. Will this make it up? Let's see. Oh. Starting off because it's a steep climb, but we're making it. We are making it. Now it's picking up, guys. Yeah, no problem with this. Yeah, baby, that was not an issue for this bike. So it will climb. It definitely will climb. Let's see how it does off-road here. Now there's something clanking in the back. I don't know if that's, that is the chain. So the chain is clanking in the back. But smooth ride. It was able to climb that. It actually climbed it better than the BQ72, to be honest. That BQ72 bike, oh, what a disappointment. But this one, nice. This has not disappointed. Very smooth, very smooth. All right, let me grab the drone and let's go do the brake test. Look at this view, man. Look at that. Love that. Look at that. You can see the guitar from way out here. Love that view. All right, now we're gonna go over here and do the brake test. I got a feeling this bike is going to perform very well. It's got really solid hydraulic brakes. Now, keep in mind, guys, these brakes are not bedded in. This bike only has 13 miles on it. Salute to all my first responders out there. All right, guys, this is where we're gonna do our brake test. I'm going to hit the brakes when my front tire hits this tree, and then we'll see how long it takes to stop. The other thing I'm gonna start to do, because I noticed this when I did the brake test on the Tonneray. No, which was it? Yeah, it was the Tonneray Pantera and the brake test on the Be Cool, that the tires, the stock tires were so cheap that it took chunks of rubber off the stock tires. So I don't think that's going to be the case with these CST Scott tires, but you never know. So we're going to check out, we'll see how well it stops, but we're also going to check out to see if it takes off any of the tire tread. And the cool part about this bike is that because it only goes 28 miles an hour, I just have to gun it and not have to worry about like some of these other bikes that go so much faster. Man, this bike is so nimble, man. I freaking love it. All right, let's see. I'm gonna take out the drone too. Let's see, baby. I don't know if this drone is gonna be able to keep up, but let's see. Max speed. Oh. I locked up those brakes. Look at that skid mark, Brad. All right, so brakes are good, but the tires are not gripping the ground as good as I thought they would. 20 miles an hour, I hit the brakes here and I skid all the way there, and the tires were locked. So that's why we slid all the way there. Not as good as I thought it was gonna do, because that's not that great. I mean, that's good, but it ain't great. If you look at what we did with, which was the last bike that I just did, because the last bike was phenomenal. Oh, the brakes on the Ihora Romeo 2, that was phenomenal. And what was the other bike I just did? Can't remember the last bike. Anyway, it wasn't that great of a stop. Not horrible, but it could be better. And let's check the tires. Let's check the tires. Let me move it forward. No, tires held up. All right, let's continue. All right, guys, here's a couple of things about the bike. Again, my only biggest complaint is the top end speed, but everything else on the bike is really good. If you're looking for a legal bike, right, want to cruise around, run errands, have a nice Sunday morning ride, this is a good option. This is a very good option, because this bike, like I said, it's light, it's nimble, it's super comfortable. It is very responsive, the cadence sensor. I mean, as soon as you start cranking, it's giving you power, but it doesn't give you all that juice at once, right? I talked about that a lot with the Aotos bikes and other similar bikes like that with the cadence sensor. Like, for example, the Tonneray bikes, the cadence sensor is by far the worst cadence sensor on any bike I've tested. But even the Aotos, if you're on pedal assist 5 on the Aotos and you start pedaling, it's gonna give you all that juice, and it's so powerful, it's gonna jerk you forward, right? It won't give you a smooth riding experience with the pedals, even with the throttle, because it gives you a lot of throttle. On stop and go riding, it's a little jerky, right? This is not. It has a smooth delivery of the power, but it gives you enough power, enough torque to, as you can see, you can climb up a very steep hill like we just did, and you can have a very comfortable ride. So, like, just to give you an idea what I look for, right? I mentioned, for me, the three top things that I need from a bike. Number one is torque. It's got to be a torquey bike. I got to be able to cross a street fast and not worry that I'm going to get run over because I'm too slow going across the street. That's number one. And it's got to get me up to, 25, 30 miles an hour fairly quickly. This one delivers that. Two, it's going to be the suspension, right? It's got to give me a comfortable ride. Why? Because I use my bikes, all my bikes that I keep, I use them to make money on. And one of the ways I make money on is through deliveries. So it's got to give me that smooth ride because I make my deliveries in the morning. I get hot drinks or drinks in general. And when you don't have a smooth ride, chances are you're going to have a difficult time delivering, for example, hot coffee. This bike delivers on that. Check, right? And that third one is the range. I need range. Now, this bike doesn't look like it's going to give me decent range because we're at 15 miles already and we're at 75% battery. It won't give me enough range to use this, let's say, for a shift. But you can always get an aftermarket battery. And if you're okay going 27, 28 miles an hour, this could work for you. In fact, if I decide to keep the bike, I'm going to go ahead and have Kevin build me a bigger battery. And then I'll dash on it and we'll see how that works out. But man, as I mentioned, when it comes to like ride quality, man, this is really, really nice. What I really like about it is how light it is too, man. And I don't know if it's because I just finished riding my AOTOS 72 volt that's heavy as crap. And I got on this. Hold on, let me cross the street and make sure I don't get run over by these people. All right, we made it. Okay. So as I was saying, the bike feels super, super light, super nimble. Like I could take this off track, right? Even though I don't think this bike is built for off-road, and I can take it off-road and feel confident that I can go through a nice tight track. All right, let's do one more speed run because we're going into a very heavy headwind. So saying into this heavy headwind, I'm still topping out. That's why I believe that the motor can give me more juice than what it's giving me, more power than what it's giving me. Because we're going into a heavy headwind and we're still doing 27 miles an hour. If it didn't have that juice, I would be dropping off. So we'll see. We'll see what I can come up with. We'll see what we can do inside. Because it's app, right? You can connect the app, the controller to the app. Maybe we can tweak it somehow. I'll do some research and we'll see what we can do with that. That's what I love about it. Look, instant, man, instant. And we're gone. All right, we are done. Let me give you my final thoughts. All right, let me give you my final thoughts. First of all, let's look at the numbers, right? We finished with 54% battery. Strava, that's it. Let's hit finish so we can get the full recap. All right, we went 17.07 miles and we have 54% battery. As mentioned, it's at best, riding it in sport mode, we're gonna get maybe 30 miles, maybe 30, probably a little less. Average speed we wrote was 20.9 miles. Again, I went full throttle, didn't have a lot of stop and go. So the average speed was 20 miles an hour, which isn't bad. And our max speed was 32.9, and that was coming down that hill, 32.9. So again, if you're looking for a fast bike, this is not going to be your bike. But by far, as I said in the beginning, This is the most unique bike I have reviewed on this channel this year. I think ever, to be honest. Most unique bike I have ridden. It's comfortable. It has a lot of good quality parts, things about it that I really like. You know, those lights are phenomenal. They're customizable, as you saw through the app. The bike looks really, really nice. It's light. So it has a lot of positives. And if you don't need top end speed and you don't need to go far, this is your bike. Now, as I mentioned, I'm debating whether to sell it or keep it. If I keep it, I'm definitely just going to get a bigger battery for it because the bike needs to give me at least 50 miles. If it gives me 50 miles, then I can take it out on some nice rides. There's a lot I can do if it gives me 50 miles. Right now, it's very little I can do except run errands on it and maybe go for a short ride here and there. But, you know, 17 miles and 15% of the battery is gone. That's not good for me. So that's my only drawback. But I like the bike. It's comfortable. There's a lot more positives than negatives to this bike. You know, again, this is one of those bikes that we don't know the longevity of it. We don't know how long this bike's gonna last. But I got a feeling it will last a long time. It feels like it's built really nice. So that's gonna be it for this review, my beautiful people. Don't forget, ride, hustle, repeat.